CBS 12 News I-Team has a significant update to an investigation we first brought you in February. A local mom, devastated by her daughter's untimely death, reached out to the I-Team because though investigators classified it as an overdose, she believed it was murder.
Now here's investigator Danielle DeRoss with the shocking new developments in the case since our last report. Danielle.
Matt and Sam, we have never seen one of our stories bring on such an about face so quickly. But after our story aired, not only did police reopen the case, which they had previously considered closed, but we also saw the medical examiner change the official cause of death.
I'm tough and I don't back down, not for my kids anyways.
Mary Beth Steed has been relentless, questioning the Port St. Lucie Police Department's official conclusion that her daughter, Alysse, had accidentally overdosed the night that she died. Now Mary Beth says, thanks to CBS 12 News, she's finally getting results.
Oh, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I pray every day that I have the right people doing the right jobs. But the trust factor's, been gone.
Last year, Mary Beth found her daughter, Alysse, dead in this bedroom. There was drug paraphernalia nearby, and it wasn't a secret that Alysse had been struggling with addiction. But Mary Beth wasn't convinced that she died of an overdose. Hours before finding her body, she overheard a terrible fight between Alysse and her boyfriend. And as a nurse, she noticed some bruises, indicating that her daughter may have been strangled. But given Alysse's history of drug abuse and fentanyl found in her system, the state attorney's office, medical examiner, and police closed this investigation. In this body camera footage, you can hear Port St. Lucie police telling Mary Beth the news.
I want to give you an update. After reviewing the case and speaking to the medical examiners, we're not going to reopen it at our level, okay? We go based off of what our investigation showed and what the ME results are.
You didn't investigate, that's the whole problem.
That's when Mary Beth reached out to the I-Team. We watched hours of body camera footage, examined autopsy photos, and pored over lab results and police reports. Alysse's death didn't seem so simple to us either. So we brought in Dr. Daniel Buffington, an independent toxicologist and pharmacologist. He agreed this may not have been an accidental overdose. True, there was fentanyl in her system, but he told us not enough to kill her.
These levels, while present, have meaning in terms of determining the presence in the system, but they would not be indicative or support the decision that they were the cause of death.
Dr. Buffington also told the I-Team other important evidence should have been explored further by investigators, like the bruises and injuries to Alysse's neck that were noted in the autopsy report, and these text messages sent shortly before she died, alleging that her boyfriend sometimes got physical and that she'd been, quote, choked out 6 times. Shortly after our first story aired, the St. Lucie County medical examiner conducted a, quote, comprehensive review of this case and decided to change both the cause and the manner of death. Here it is in black and white. Alysse's initial autopsy stated that her death was accidental, citing acute fentanyl exposure. Now, there's no mention of drugs at all. The cause of death now says could not be determined.
This means that she's no longer considered an overdose.
That's the way I read it, yeah.
That has to be some level of vindication.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mary Beth tells the I-Team she heard from Port St. Lucie's police chief a few days ago. He told her they've reopened the investigation to look into possible domestic violence charges. According to police, Alysse's boyfriend is not in the clear.
The police were clear a few months ago that they considered this case closed.
Yeah.
So now it's back open. Mm-hmm. So why do you think that happened?
Because I went to you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, because everything else I tried wasn't working. Nothing was going anywhere until, public pressure.
Is it rare for a medical examiner to change the cause of death like this?
In the 11 years that I've been doing work as an expert witness in police procedures, I think I've only seen it twice.
Dr. Roy Taylor is a former police chief and an expert witness on police procedure with 40 years of law enforcement experience. We asked him to review Alysse's case.
I think they came into the scene thinking that this was a drug overdose, and that was their mindset, and they really didn't do a thorough investigation. There's a lot of things that would have been done if this was a homicide that weren't done.
Dr. Taylor says police should treat a death like this as a homicide, collecting DNA, fingerprints, and fiber evidence, bringing Alysse's boyfriend, the only witness to her death, into the station for a thorough questioning. But they never did. Now, a year later, Dr. Taylor admits critical evidence may be gone, but he says reopening this case is the right call.
There's seems to be sufficient evidence that as an investigator, I would feel comfortable, putting a case together and going to the grand jury and then letting a grand jury decide whether or not there's enough to go forward with a criminal charge.
That's something Mary Beth says she'll keep hoping for. Justice for her little girl.
Death is permanent. She's gone forever. I won't ever have her back. She's my daughter. I miss her, you know, and it's hard. It is hard.
Port St. Lucie Police and the medical examiner's office both told me that they could not comment on this change to Alysse's official cause of death. Important to note here, this has not been ruled a homicide. They say they are investigating it as a possible domestic violence incident, so that is still a big step forward for her family.
Yeah, certainly it's a big change here in this case. What do we know about the boyfriend here, Danielle? Is he still around?
He is, and he is communicating with me. He would not agree to be interviewed, to take part in this story on camera, but I do want to relay a little bit about our conversations off camera. I did speak to him about some of these evidentiary issues that we brought up. He maintains he did not harm Alysse, that he did not choke her, and I asked him about those text messages from her phone. He said that she must have been making that up.
Did you ask him about those marks on her neck specifically?
Absolutely. I asked him, what could account for that? He threw out a lot of different possibilities, everything from maybe she fell, maybe she shot up drugs in her neck. He even said it could have been a hickey. So those are his responses here. And again, police are just telling me that they're working on this case. They won't say where it all stands today, but we'll certainly stay on top of it.
All right, keep us updated, Danielle. Thank you.